So one of the trending topic is Databricks asset bundle. Today we can see that. So how we can create asset bundle? First you open the folder. So you take the Visual Studio Code and I am going to open the folder first. I am going to create a new asset bundle, right? For that I am planning to create a folder and keep all the files. So first I am creating YT asset bundle demo. This is my new folder. Okay, the empty folder is ready now. The first empty folder is ready. Then I'm just opening the new terminal and then we can install what asset bundle required modules. Okay, pip install Databricks. Databricks is the one of the important, because we are going to do a asset bundle for Databricks, right? So I need to install the Databricks module. Using pip install we installed it. Okay, so then once this is installed, right, Databricks pip install we did it. The next step is create a GitHub repository. Okay, so PK Cloud is my GitHub account. I'm going to create a new repository, YT asset bundle underscore demo. Okay, so this is my repository. I'm creating it fresh because we want to automate end-to-end automation. I'm going to do in this video, so that I'm creating the GitHub repository as well. Okay, so I just created a readme file and then checked in that. This is fine. Now GitHub repository also we have created it. We are good with that. Now I need to copy that path, right? So I'll go to my repo path and then we can copy the directory readme. Okay, readme is not there. We'll go in the main. Okay, here under the code I can see that. Okay, I will copy that path. Yes, I copied. So now I'll come back to Visual Studio Code and I need to pull that repo, right? Okay, so git repo, we need to, first of all we need to initialize, right? So git init. So this folder is empty and then we are going to pull all the files. So basically remote we are going to make it. So we created it, simple one we created it. Now I am going to create a DLT pipeline. So this is my example. I can create one simple DLT pipeline. How we are creating is with empty file. Okay, we have two options, Python or SQL. I am selecting the Python. It's fine. So we created the DLT pipeline now. Okay, so now we are going to show that how this DLT pipeline deployed from asset bundle, right? So I'm just giving some sample. This is my DLT pipeline demo. Okay, I'm going to show that how it is working. Just execute that. Is it trying to execute, right? So it is spinning up the resources and then it will do a refresh all first time. I'm showing that what we are going to automate via asset bundle. So that step, for that I am creating one sample DLT pipeline that is called DLT pipeline underscore demo, and once I am going to test the code whether my pipeline is working or not. If it works, right, we can go and deploy through asset bundle. You can assume that this is one of the dev environment. How we are going to deploy it into UAT or pre-prod prod environments, right? So that is what the main aim of this asset bundle deployment. Okay, so now it is preparing, still it is preparing the graph and it is executing now. Okay, so that means my code is working without any issue. Now we can go ahead and deploy into any other environment. Okay, so that part is clear now. Yes, this is running, right? So it will take some time to complete that entire DLT pipeline. It's fine. So it is almost completing the last step. Okay, my pipeline is almost took 2 minutes 43 seconds, and it is using the serverless cluster. Okay, run completed. Okay, now my code is ready. If I am going to do that, I am going to create, okay, this is not only DLT pipeline, I am going to create a notebook activity also. Just simple notebook, how we are going to check DQ checks. You assume that in your project you have DLT pipeline and couple of notebooks, and then we want to include everything into one Databricks asset bundle, so that uh, the deployment will have a complete package of the developed code into uh, moving into pre-prod or prod environment. Okay, so here I am just checking that one simple check I am going to do perform as part of DQ checks. These are all demo, right? I am performing some count check. Okay, just I am going to execute this. Like you all know this can definitely work, this particular notebook, but still I need to check that whether it's running fine. Yes, it is running. If you want to check something, some var class or group by class, or we can use some aggregated values, all sort of things we can do it in our DQ check. Now I am just grouping up by using model type, and then checking that where count star greater than 1. That means I am going to check duplicate check. Okay, so there are no duplicates. This is one of the DQ check we are going to perform. Yes, DQ check notebook also fine, and then we are going to create one job, right? So we can directly go to this DLT pipeline and then create a job, or we can create it from here as well. I am going to create it from DLT pipeline itself. So the code we created for DLT pipeline demo, right? There I am going to create that DLT pipeline. So here it is the DLT pipeline, and creating the new job. I am mentioning that job underscore DLT pipeline demo. Okay, the job also created. Okay, so how this job, whenever you execute this job, it will call the DLT pipeline demo, and schedule we can define it, whatever schedule we want to do it. So right now I'm every next day, right? So it's going every day run, and trigger also we haven't defined any trigger, but because we want to main focus for this call is we need to make sure that we are deploying the DLT pipeline from the asset bundle. Okay, so we tested that job as well. Job also setting up the tables and triggering that, and it triggers the DLT pipeline. Okay, this part also we are clear now. Okay, so what else? Both are fine now. It is running now. Now we have complete set of packages. One is we have GLT pipeline, declarative lake flow pipeline. The other one is one notebook, and then other one is we have a job as well. Okay, so here you can see that job and pipeline, and job and pipeline we can see, and once you click the job you can see that. Now I am going to integrate that job, because job has capability of running all sort of resources which is available in the DLT pipeline, right? Notebook activities also I am going to include in that. Okay, so DQ check, first it will run the DLT pipeline, then it will execute the DQ check. Okay, fine. So we are fine for two activities. Basically DLT pipeline it will trigger, and then task also it will trigger. So two activities via serverless. Now the code, everything is ready. You assume that you developed the code. How this code will go into different environments altogether. Okay, so first we need to initiate that Databricks bundle init. Yes, it is asking couple of pre-checks, right? What is your name and what is your you want to include a sample notebook, lake flow package, pipeline packages, everything. If you say yes, and it will be created the asset bundle. If you see left side, right, under the folder, you can see that YT asset bundle demo project. It has pictures, it has resources, it has crash, source, test, git ignore, and databricks.yaml, pyproject.toml, readme file, everything we have. And we can, first of all, to avoid the confusion, will delete which are all it's not required for now. So I'm deleting one by one, so that we should not confuse, like what is the use of this file. And maybe I'm going to keep only two files, one is for resources and the other one is for source. Okay, under the source we are keeping two different files, right? So these are all sample. Okay, you all remember we have mentioned that you want a sample, it asked you want a sample, we selected the sample. Now what we need, we want to execute our files, right? So for that, what we need to, we have to download that as a source file. So we have DLT pipeline demo, and we have the notebook, and we have the job, right? So all three will be considered as the resources which we are going to deploy. Okay, so source file I am going to add it. I downloaded two source files. One is DQcheck and my transformation. Both I added. Okay, fine. So we have added the files into my directory. Okay. So I'm deleting others because I don't want to make it confused. So only my transformation, it's a DLT pipeline. Other one is DQcheck is the notebook activity. Okay, you all clear, right? Hope you don't have any confusion here. Okay, so first one is DLT pipeline demo, the next one is DQ check, and that DQ check also we can just rename it for to understand better. Okay, I'm just renaming DQ notebook, DQ check notebook. Okay, because I'm going to deploy both into same workspace, right? So to double check, we can make sure that we are renaming the files. It's not required because we will go in a different workspace, but right now I'm going to try in the same workspace just to show that how this is performing. I'm just renaming those DLT pipeline and the notebook activity. Okay, so it's all fine now. Now we are going to asset bundle, we are going to validate the asset bundle, because I created a template, I changed that source file, and then I am going to validate the asset bundle. First we need to make sure that which workspace I am going to deploy, right? So that workspace information, it will be there in the databricks.yaml. Yes, I can see that databricks.yaml, it has the host name. First we will rename that host name. Okay, for my case, production also same host, and dev also same host name, right? That's the reason I'm just making both are in the same workspace, correct? So maybe in real time scenario, production will be different workspace and dev will be different workspace. Okay, so you all know why I'm keeping that same host name. Okay, so still I'm facing some issue, cannot resolve authentication resolve. Okay, what was that? Let's come and see that what is the problem here. Bundle validate cannot, and configuration resolve prod profile. Okay, we need to create a profile as well, right? We need a profile for Databricks. Okay, so next step we can try Databricks configure profile, dev profile I'm going to configure. So workspace host name it is asking, I'm going to copy this host path and then we'll paste it the host name. Correct, we have pasted that. And personal access token, so this is very important. Okay, from Visual Studio we are going to hit the Databricks workspace. For that we need authentication, either a personal access token, either a SPN access or some access, then only it will deploy into that respective workspace, right? So now profile we have created is dev profile. We are saying that we configured in the system variables, and then we are saying that this is my profile. Okay, in my case production also same profile, and then dev also same profile. Yes, so I'm going to say that both are my same profile, dev profile. Yes, now dev profile is ready now. Okay, if we want to create one more prod profile, we can do it, prod profile as well. But I'm using the sample Databricks, so I can mention that same as my prod profile also. This will be clear for you when you are going to use the prod profile. Now I'm into prod profile. Yes, prod profile also I'm going to use the same personal access token. Yes, so we configured two profile, but same information I configured with two different names, because this will be in real time scenario. This will be two different profile but two different pat token or SPN, and then host. Okay, you can, if you are having easiest option is pat token. Hope you all know how to create the pat token. Okay, if not you can just ping me, I will give you the details in the YouTube. Okay, so now we have created it. What is our next step? So we need to create a two components, right? One is job we have to, because right now we have uploaded only the code, but actual job where we are going to create, and actual pipeline, declarative lake flow pipeline, where we are going to create it. So both the things we have to create it in the we have to say, first of all we have to say this is my code, this is the notebook code, this is my pipeline code, where you want to call it as a job. uh, those things we have to mention. So under src, what is my pipeline code or notebook path, that I'm going to mention it here. Okay, so this is my pipeline code, right? So I'm going to see that how currently it look like. Okay, so currently it is look like job, right? So same job, almost I'm going to use the same job. So for that job code I'm just picking it from the existing job. Okay, pipeline alone will configure. Oh, anytime we can change it, but initial step, right? So I don't want to have any confusion. I'm just replacing the existing job code. Okay, only different is here I'm going to change the job names and job resources. Okay, so this is YT asset bundle demo project job. Okay, and then here also name also I'm changing it, YT asset bundle job. Okay, job underscore YT asset bundle project job. Okay, so name also ready. Let's see that still we need to make any modification. Okay, now we are fine with that. This is, I've taken the code from existing, because this, once you are familiar, right, you can write it on your own. Right now we are just starting, right? We can take the template from already created jobs in Databricks environment. That is how I'm doing now. Pipeline ID, pipeline name. Okay, now we are changing the pipeline, right? So that pipeline has to be given here, dlt pipeline underscore gemo.id. Okay, so this is my resources. Under the resources I'm creating the pipeline, right? So that's the reason I'm specifying that name. And pipeline task also, there are some GUIDs, we can mention any custom names. Okay, so task also we mentioned it. And pipeline task, one task is what it is doing. First it is calling the pipeline, the other task is calling DQ check. Hope you understood. So DQ check, what notebook it will call, under SRC it will call the notebook, right? So now almost we are ready, and we can remove unwanted code here, because this is my existing code, right? We'll remove that existing code. I am keeping into existing means template. When we created the template, that time whatever code added, I removed it. Now my code is clean. Okay, so the next step is however the pipeline look like, right? You can take the pipeline code similarly YAML file, however the way we have taken the job, right? So similarly I'm going to take the pipeline as well. Okay, let it be, pipeline is ready now. Now I'll paste that, and I'll change the couple of details. So DLT pipeline demo, it is coming as DLT pipeline demo. Here also we have that same DLT pipeline demo. Okay, and then the path, whatever we have, right? Just double check that path. Yes, we have the path as well. Okay, that's fine. Now we'll make sure that the path, everything we have given, right? SRC underscore, that information we have to provide. Library details, libraries, and serverless information, all sort of details we are going to change it here. Okay, slowly we can copy, and then we'll paste it here. Okay, okay, so demo, under the demo, and remove whatever not needed. Okay, I've taken that same pipeline, and changing the couple of path under SRC, whatever files we have, that path I'm changing it. Okay, DLT pipeline demo dot py file, that we have to call it in the pipeline, right? Pipeline also it is calling the source code. That source code we are mentioning it here, right? So this is almost, the configuration is ready. Now we made all the configuration ready, YAML file also ready, most of the things are ready now. Okay, anyway we'll double check that is there anything to do, and then next step I'm going to execute. Again I'm going to validate it. It was failure, right? Now it should bundle validate. Let me validate. Let's see, is there any, still I'm facing any issues. Probably it should not throw any error. Let's see. Yeah, validation is okay. We did all the validation also, it's okay, fine. What is next? Deploy. Deployment is failing. Why deployment is failing? It's a build failed artifact error. Okay, some issues are there. Okay, so build python m patch. Okay, we'll try to change it into setup bi dist wheel package. We'll try, because it's mentioned, right? A hatch wheel build t wheel. Okay, this is also still again it's failing. Now this is failing with different error, no such file or directory. Okay, what is missing there then? Okay, it's saying setup.py. Okay, we'll just give some empty file here, setup.py. Yes, that is also created now. Now again dot matching wheel files not there. Okay, so if you are facing such kind of issue, we need to debug. That's why I'm showing all the errors here. Otherwise I could have shown that only um, succeeded one. Okay, hope you understood. Yes, updating distributable files. Yes, it's running now. Great. So it is waiting for to bundle the files, and it is going to my workspace users underscore dot bund bundle and dev slash files. This is the path. If you look at the cursor, right above the cursor, there is a path uploading. Enter. Okay, under dot bundle. Yes, dot bundle asset bundle dev. Okay, this is executed now. Okay, fine. We almost deployed, right? File and notebook both are deployed, but still I'm facing some issue. Pipeline ID demo. Pipeline Databricks pipeline.dlt pipeline.demo. That is wrong. Where it is? Okay. So root path we have to mention that. Target. Yes. And then we will deploy once again. It says undeclared resource has not been executed. Okay. It's saying pipeline demo, right? We can go to pipelines and then here DLT pipeline demo. Okay, this is not deployed. DLT pipeline demo. We'll change that same DLT pipeline demo, and then if you come here, it's looking for DLT pipeline demo. Okay. Here we are deploy underscore, right? That's wrong. Maybe job there we are mentioned that. Okay, DLT pipeline demo, we change that name. Yes, deploying the resources. Again there was some issue. DQ check, invalid dependency graph for the task DQ check. Where is it? DQ check where we used in the jobs. We call the DQ checks in the jobs. So we can go and check the job now. Okay, I checked it. Here DQ check, they are saying it was causing an issue. Where it is? Okay, fine. Here it is referring workspace URL pk right? So this should be, we can change the path. This is pipeline task DLT pipeline demo. Yes, task key. Okay, this is actually dependency error. Okay, so once that previous task completed, then it will start the next notebook, right? So that we are having it now. Yes, it's updating now. It's uploading. Okay, I made one more changes we could have do. We could have referred the DQ check notebook, that new file. Okay, it's created now. See, if you come here, you can see that the pipeline has created and the job also created. If you go to the job and task, you can see that two different tasks are created. One is calling the pipeline, other one is DQ check. Okay, so both we have showing here, both are showing here, and it was done for in the Databricks itself. It is deployed it, right? Now how we are going to check in all the code, and this is how this deployment is happening. Like it's using dev profile and then take the host token and then it's deploy as an asset bundle. Whatever steps we manually doing, right, that same thing it is there in the YAML file for build deployment. Okay, so why we need that? So we are going to trigger it from GitHub. Now I'm just committing my code. Okay, I opened the code, right? Now I'm going to commit all my code into GitHub. Yes, almost we have committed all the code, and we'll check that what is git status. Yes, this is also showing that git status also master origin. Okay, fine. So we created the GitHub, right? So now all bundle.com and then YT bundle demo project, in the left side you can see that entire code pushed or committed to the GitHub repo. Yes, it is committed now. Okay, fine. Now the committed, it is committed now. The next step what we are going to do is, okay, how this build is happening, right? That we can do it via CI/CD pipelines, right? So this is going to deploy as well, jobs and pipelines, so that commit is deployed. Okay, so this is deploying that into our workspace. Hope you are clear now how this is happening. Okay, from the build deployment at YAML file, it's deploying it here. Okay, once again I'll check that. If I come here and I configured the CI/CD pipeline, so that's the reason it's action also. Yes, some new action. Whenever I push the code, the new action executes and it is deploying the asset bundle to respective folder location. Yes, it is deploying it now. I'm targeting to dev, right? So that's why it's doing into dev now. Okay, so how this action is happening? Whenever we are pushing the code, we can do that actions. I mean, this particular branch you check